Welcome everyone. My name is Camille Munro. I am Miss World Canada 2013, but I am also an active employee in the justice field. I come from a background of human justice. I have a Bachelor of Human Justice degree from the University of Regina. I work currently with the RCMP in Regina, Saskatchewan, and justice is a passion of mine, and I wish to pursue further my studies in the field of justice, whatever that may entail, whether it be a master's program or a law degree down the road. Today I would just like to share with you my messages on youth and justice. There are so many opportunities available for young people today in the justice field. Young people are able to engage in their communities in ways that generations past were not able to. It is now more acceptable for young people to use their voice as a platform to let the world know what it is that they have to say, to speak out for advocacy, for programs, for other people maybe whose voices are not so easily heard. I believe that at the core of initiating any social change or becoming a part of the process of justice is engaging ourselves and aligning ourselves with positive role models. I truly believe this. When young people, when our youth are fully engaged in a role model, someone that they can look up to, that gives them someone to emulate, someone to not necessarily copy their actions, but to see those actions, those positive actions, as examples that they can then use in their own lives as they continue to grow. I believe that our youth, so any of you who are youth who are listening, it is up to you guys to be mentors in your communities, to be role models in your communities. It starts with you. You need to take that initiative. You need to be that support system for the younger generations that follow you. I really believe that it's a cyclical process, which means that it kind of comes full circle. The people who are younger than me are looking up to me. There's people who are younger than them that are looking up to them. It's all connected. It's like a chain reaction, right? So I'm encouraging you to start that change, first of all, within yourself, and then in other people. Demonstrate to your community that, yes, you've made mistakes. Yes, you have perhaps done things in your past that you may not be proud of, but you are ready to make that change, and you're now ready to be a leader. Use those situations to enhance your future. Use your resources. Like I keep saying, I'm a broken record, and I will repeat the same thing because it's very true and it's very important. To embody that change means proving that you've made those changes in your life. And until that happens, we will continue to see the same trends that we currently see today. Finally, I advocate for youth because I believe that our youth of today, which are different than past generations, are very outspoken, like I said at the very beginning of my presentation. I ask youth questions. My first question to youth is, who is your role model? Who do you look up to? And oftentimes the answer is, I don't know. And then I say, why don't you know? I don't know. It's time to change that answer. If you do not have someone that you can aspire to be, someone who inspires you, who motivates you to continue the things you do, to pursue your educational goals, to pursue the path in your life that you want to pursue, then I really strongly encourage you to begin to search for that person or those people. It doesn't need to be one person. It can be many people that make up an organization, many people that have different qualities that inspire you as a whole. I just encourage you to find those voices. I advocate for youth to support their local youth initiatives. Government officials, community leaders, and adults across our country have put time, have volunteered, and have created these programs and youth initiatives for you to use. If you don't go and support these initiatives, it's all been for nothing, right? So I encourage you to explore those options within each and every one of your communities. There are things happening. Get involved, get out there, and attend these initiatives. Speak out for yourself and find your voice. That's my last message I would like to leave with all of you. Throughout my life, I have had the ability to be a voice for myself, but also others in my community. So I just encourage you to do that. Find whatever it is that you need to inspire yourself and to continue the good work that you do. Thank you so much for having me as a part of this discussion, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you. There are many challenges facing our youth within the justice system today. Circumstantial situations such as gang involvement. I understand that often within a gang situation and a gang family, it is very difficult to escape that perpetual negative behavior, illegal activity, and that is something that needs to be addressed. Socioeconomic status often is something else that we see becoming a barrier for youth often within the justice system. Not being taken seriously by adult figures. I know that through the use of social media and the way that media in general creates this aura that behavior that is inappropriate, behavior that is illegal is okay. Fantasizing that also creates problems for youth. They become involved in the justice system in a negative way again. And adults and policymakers then in turn believe that, for the most part, youth are behaving in these ways. So if there is a way that it can start again internally, these small changes within each individual person to say, no, we do not accept these stereotypes, or we do not accept these kind of generalizations about youth behavior, then that in that way change can be made. Other youth, for example, also can perhaps be a challenge for other youth in the justice system. We need to combat these challenges, like I said, with smaller changes. It's a ripple effect. Nothing is going to start up here. Everything needs to start from a base level within each individual person, then working together and building upward from there. It is a long process, but it is most definitely possible. Let's talk about priorities. I believe within the justice system, some of our priorities, like I mentioned before, community policing is definitely a big initiative happening right now. Youth incarceration, lengthy times of youth being held in detention facilities. I believe, for example, again, within the Saskatchewan system, changes are being made within that realm to look for other solutions, different alternative measures to help create change in the lives of these youth who enter the justice system in a negative way. As I was speaking to the priorities within the justice system as it pertains to youth, I believe that it's very important we start to break down specific reasons, the whys, as to why our youth are being held in detention centers. For example, youth and mental health. What is the access for mental health for youth? Between the period when a youth is apprehended, perhaps on the street, and the time when they actually receive treatment for perhaps a mental health issue, disease, illness, addiction, there's a block of time in there. What's happening in that block of time? I believe that within our current systems in Canada, there's something missing there. And so what can we do to now address that time frame? How can we combat these issues? What do we need more programs, or is it simply a matter of modifying current existing programs, current legislation, to fit the needs of today's youth? I think we all can agree that today's youth are extremely different from our parents' youth. their childhood, things that they experienced. And maybe if it's not if it's not different, it's certainly evolved. The intensity of situations such as mental health and addiction have increased. And I think that we will only continue to see trends such as this if certain changes are not made. Again, I bring it back to community policing initiatives, engaging with your police culture. I bring it back again to finding those positive role models at a young age for these youth so that there is less chance that we find our youth in vulnerable situations. Despite perhaps some youth being involved in past, whether it be past negative issues of any kind, it needs to come down to you as an individual. That change in your life needs to start with you, within yourself. It is not possible, whether you come from a past of being in the justice system in a negative way, it's not possible to make, for anyone else to make you into a different person, for you to be engaged in a positive way without your consent. It needs to start with you. You need to be that voice. You have that first-hand experience that can then touch the lives of others. So without your first-hand saying, yes, I mean to make this change, nothing is going to happen. Welcome back. Often our youth do not realize the full consequences of their actions, which tends to engage youth in the justice system in a negative way. But it is up to, like I was saying before, it is up to you to break that cycle, encourage youth who are younger, who may not fully realize their actions, who may not reach that maturity level just quite yet, to really understand that maybe what they're about to do or what they are continuing to do is not a good idea. Engaging in your local police culture is very important. Now, what I mean by police culture is within the justice system and within policing, there's a certain way things are done. There's certain mentalities and there are certain principles that apply to police work. I know firsthand that by working with Canada's largest and national police force, that there is a change in our police culture. No longer is it just standard to have high incarceration levels. Instead, we're turning towards more of a community policing module. What that means is we are engaging more with the community as a task force, as a police force, as opposed to against the community. Because I believe that government and the community both are realizing that if we do not work together, change is not going to happen. Police forces across Canada are engaging in this community policing initiatives. And by doing that, they are really reaching out to young people, just like yourself, to become engaged within their initiatives. So I think it's very important to break that kind of stereotype that police forces and people of authority are against us, because they are most definitely working with us. And if we do find a way to work together in a way that is beneficial for both parties, then we will be able to engage our youth in a more positive way. Community leaders within peer groups. I've been to many small towns throughout Saskatchewan as an example, and within those communities they have community leaders, these kind of unofficial positions given to youth within the community. These are key peer people that younger generations can look up to, can go to for questions